Speaking of major insults, I think I'm mad.
Yep.
Your boy.
Okay.
Your boy lying. Your boy lying again.
The president just told me that a border wall does not.
Sorry for the audio. I'll try to get the subtitles on here. It's the press gallery. Closed captions unavailable. Well, that's not very PBS of you, no, is it?
Seriously, PBS News. Shame on you.
How ableist.
Yeah.
The president just told me that a border wall does not work. If that's the case, why does his own Department of Homeland Security Secretary say in a public notice, quote, there is presently an acute and immediate need to construct physical barriers?
So it's about Biden's administrator saying that barriers at the border are necessary and how that goes against the campaign.
Here's what I can say. I can speak to what the president was very clear in saying, and also what you all have been reporting about this this construction. So the facts are this is not new. These funds were appropriated in fiscal year 2019 under Republican leadership, and DHS is required by law to use the funds for appropriated purpose. That's what we're seeing. This was announced back in June by the DHS. And so, look, we believe that there are better effective ways of moving forward.
DHS is Department of Homeland Security.
To secure
Thank you
our
for
border.
That was the one that was created after 9/11. So it's supposed to secure the general borders of the United States.
Sorry, was that really only created after 9/11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Hey, didn't you watch the series Homeland?
No. Thanks for the follow.
We used to have a Secretary of War. Did you know that?
Yeah.
We used to have a Secretary of Propaganda.
Yep.
Well, we used to have fucking
a functioning government. That's not going to happen anymore. We're done.
We're done. My dad's bigger than your dad.
Well, my uncle's bigger than your uncle. He'll come up here. You'll be sorry.
Oh, Mike is winning.
Have continuously asked for Congress to act, to provide our CBP, the law enforcement at the border, to give them the resources they need to do their jobs. And so we're going to continue to call on Congress. We believe, and the president has been very clear, even when you asked him, does a border wall work? He said no. And he's been very consistent about that. We believe that we need border technology that is modernized and land ports of entry, and that's what we want to see, and that's what I can speak to. And this is something that we were required by law, and we are complying. This is an administration that does believe in the rule of law.
But why now?
So, this is why I hate DC. Even if the current administration doesn't want something to happen, because it takes them so fucking long to do anything, it'll happen in your administration, even if it's against your shit. And you can't stop it unless Congress will stop it. This is stupid.
And we know Congress can't do anything. It's
Okay.
not functioning.
So what happens if Trump gets in and he fucking dedicates $100 trillion to a fucking mountain that's shaped like his face and no one votes it out? We have to keep spending and keep building it. This is stupid. Stop building fucking borders. Like, that's dumb. You can't just
that money could have gone into actually securing border to create a better system, but no,
dealing with the humanitarian crisis But
the problem is that this is a Trump thing, right? This is a symbol of his great power, which we know he doesn't have anymore, and so
Mexico's
that's
not paying for this. Last time I checked,
and the money it was earmarked specifically for this purpose, not for border security, not for actual, efforts in order to quell the influx of immigrants. It's for the wall.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. There was nobody to say, no, we can't do it specifically for the wall. We don't know what's going to happen. The wall is not going to do anything.
But isn't this why your government shit the bed based on 8 right-wing nutters that are trying to disrupt the Republican Party, and they're all talking about silly excuses like, "Oh, we should have spent this money on the wall. We should have spent money on this." And they're all basically, what's his name? Your man who just got dethroned as the speaker.
Am I really informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading you.
So McCarthy. You're talking about Kevin McCarthy. Yeah.
McCarthy, yeah.
So do you know the story about how this ended up happening, where he ended up not being removed as speaker just this week?
It's a funny tale.
It's so getting into the speakership, all of 9 months ago?
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. He said, "Hey, all these right-wing nut jobs." He's the MAGA crowd, right? He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna not agree with the Democrats. We're just gonna get everything done. We're going to get the border wall, basically. We're the border secure, right?"
Yeah.
Well, we had this recent need for funding of the government, which is just the most ridiculous shit that we have to go through every single solitary year over and over again. Well, every year it's the same thing. Every year it's newly the same thing.
Every year we've never done this before.
every year it keeps coming up for some reason. So in the original package that he created, original bill, he's like, we're gonna defund this shit, defund SNAP. We're going to, which is food stamps. Yep. We're going to fund the wall, like all this stuff that a MAGA crowd is drooling over, that they live for.
Mm-hmm. Red meat for the base.
Ooh, yeah. What happened was that in order to actually get this bill passed, because you need a certain amount of votes, and just the Republican Party still does not have that many votes. Plus, it has to go through the Senate, which it's majority Democrat. Plus, it has to be signed by the president, who just happens to be a Democrat, right? So the right wing doesn't work in this situation. Right wing politics does not work. So the stuff that the right wingers really wanted, like the conservative stuff, including build the wall kind of stuff, he had to take out in order to get any sort of get it passed, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was then Matt Gaetz, who we know is
Matt Gaetz lost his shit.
Not the sharpest tool in the drawer kind of thing. He went up and said, because of the
roundest spoon.
Because what he was promised, because what Kevin McCarthy promised them was that, if one person wants to vote the speaker out, they can bring it up, and then they bring it up for a vote. It used to be 10 people, or it used to be like 1/3. Like, there was a big threshold, which is why nobody has successfully been removed as speaker until now. Congratulations, Kevin McCarthy.
Nations first.
Yay!
You did.
I did want his name in history books, so well done him.
You did it.
So what happened? So first off, with this, why did we have to wait till the last minute to get the funding to go through? Right, because we were on the verge of shutting down the government for however long it took. Kevin McCarthy went and said, well, it took this long because the Democrats don't give a shit about the country, and they don't care about the wall, our border security. They just want people to come in. So he started shitting on the Democrats, except he needed the Democrats in order to pass any sort of bill, right?
Yeah, this is what I heard.
This is the burning of the bridges, right? So then his vote came up, right, to whether or not he needed, and he only needed, what was it? It was like 5 Republicans to vote to remove him. And he got 8, by the way.
He got eight, and there was all
five Republicans.
Marjorie Taylor Greene and all them.
Nope.
Lot.
So what happened was that because he burned the bridges for the Democrats, because he's like, you needed us to get anything passed, and you're asking to help us save your job? Absolutely not. We're not going to save your job. You made this bed, you lie on it. So that's what happened. Basically, when you shit on the Democrats, they're not going to save you when you're drowning.
No, they and again, this is just from commentary that I've seen. It was a case of the Democrats were watching the infighting with the Republicans, and they were just going, "You carry on."
What? No, we were
You were-
very deeply concerned about our colleagues on the other side of the aisle, and I hope they come to a swift and amicable solution to their strifes.
Yeah, no. If you want to start bumping heads, carry on.
This is going so well.
Excellent, Smithers. The infighting.
Somebody
exactly
really
what it
wants
is.
some attention over here.
Going so well.
Yeah, Wayne. Oh, the kitty.
Oh, Jackie.
Yeah, I need some more ibuprofen gel on my back, please.
Go call your nurse.
I'm gonna fire out a message. Straight up.
You don't want
But-
zero problems, big fella.
Here's the thing, though, right? Okay, so I get the whole McCarthy thing that they didn't want to vote for him because he kept shitting on the Democrats. But isn't the ramifications of basically not having a functioning government worse?
Say it again. I don't understand your
So-
question.
Your government is basically not functioning right now because you
Broken.
don't have a Speaker of the House, right?
We've run out of electricity.
Like
Can we borrow a gallon?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, we're definitely not going
not
to
from our
Wayne's
power plants.
Parliament. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind, Wayne. Sorry.
Yeah,
Too
yeah,
soon.
yeah. Please stay home, Wayne.
I need
Please stay
all of
home.
my power. Thank you.
But am I mistaken in the fact that you don't have a functioning government at the moment?
No.
Technically, it's functioning all the way. Not really. It's fine for now. They have a pro temp, and things can still be passed, and stuff can still move on.
But isn't the threat that normally comes from it's actually always come from the Republican Party, give us what we want or we're shutting down the government?
The reason why it was bad last time was because they need, like as a utility, there needs to be a Speaker of the House to bring the Congress to order. You know what I mean? Like to do all the procedural shit, you need a Speaker for all that, at least in the beginning to get going. Now that that was at the beginning of the Congress, and that was 15 rounds of voting just to get McCarthy's little punk ass in there. Remember, because they voted a billion times.
He had to bend over a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
he's
is
got
what
a
happened when he
very
bent
questionable
over.
past.
And it's 15 rounds. He lasted 9 months. And now here we are back in the same fucking thing all over again. So.
And the only reason why he's out is because he agreed with the Democrats just to get funding passed.
Yeah.
And then it was his problem because we agreed that, we should change parliamentary procedure that one person can bring up a vote in order to vacate the speaker chair. And he agreed to that.
Sorry, the cat.
Oh,
That
God damn
don't
it.
Is cat butt? Was it cat butt?
It was cat butt.
It was cat butt. No, he agreed.
I need to go to the toilet. Please do not watch me try and get up.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Let me zoom in.
Yeah. Can we big him?
Yep.
Right, and play the
Yeah,
Benny
there
Hill
we
theme
go.
tune.
Let's see what I can find.
No, don't do it.
Oh, it's too late for that. Much too late for that. Let's see.
What's a good soundtrack for this? Like,
I'm trying to find something.
I'll
come back here. We got single. Never mind.
Anyway, McCarthy agreed. What happened was it stabbed him in the back when it realized Matt Gaetz was already planning on removing him because we're going into the election season, and they need all their power in order to do whatever they can to get Trump in office, and they're going to burn down Congress in order to do that. And this should be a reminder: stop voting for these assholes. They don't want a functioning government. They like this shit.
I think modern politics and the speaker role are kind of clashing. You know what I mean? Because the speaker should be somebody who both sides can agree with and come to the table with, and this person kind of is the like everybody should be able to come to the speaker with an issue. That is not.
Give me a second. I'll just have to let the cat out.
That is not our politic anymore. The speaker is usually the head of one radical side or the other radical side. You know what I mean? There's no statesmen anymore who are people who are making sure that everything gets funded, and there's the fringe issues that kind of like divide people a bit. Mm-hmm. It starts,
but there's still enough. There's still enough. I think what we've lost is we've lost an ability to actually like find people who are willing to, debate. Compromise is about somebody's going to lose something, but somebody's going to gain something. It's just normal. It's politics.
Right.
Like not everybody's going to be happy with something, but at least something's going to get done. I think we've lost that ability. And I think that has a lot to do with the extreme. I mean, both sides have extremes.
Yeah.
And I think both of those extremes have way more power than we've had in the past, where it used to be like, I mean, a majority of people could get on board with a lot of these policies.
Right.
And that's politics. Yes, you're going to have people who hate it. Normal. But I think that's definitely a part of it that's been lost. And
because
it sucks because it turns us into a laughing. I mean, look
Jerry
at the UK.
Springer.
The UK is laughing at us, and they don't know how to actually do any governance. They can't even pick a prime minister to last more than head of cabbage. Like,
I'm sorry, and that I have made mistakes.
Technically, it was a lettuce.
But
I just don't even know the difference. It's okay.
But what I think we see is a failure of your two-party system, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of these fringe Republicans, the Matt Gaetz, Bo Birch, she who shall not be named,
I think is a really major mistake and an insult to me.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
We're gonna go into that soon.
Yeah, but they're
let me get my gloves.
They're not
talking about
Republicans.
My grief of the week. Yeah.
Right?
No.
They're fundamentalists, they're extremists, they're
young earth creationists.
I would say the Tea Party hangovers.
I'm not done.
Sorry.
So they're not Republican by any sense of the word. They have changed the Republican Party to suit their politics, yes.
Yeah.
But they should be in a third party. Like the last Republican that had a backbone was McCain.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
that was 04.
Yeah.
No, 08.
08. Obama,
yeah.
08. Yeah. So but he always had a backbone, right? He had it as a senator. Yes, I didn't agree with him, right? I thought it was wrong about a lot of things, but he was reasonable in that too. He was reasonable in disagreement. But what we see now and what has gone on with these fringy types, which are so unreasonable and so fundamentalist in their views and opinions, right? We've lost our way, and this is how why I'm saying that we have seen a failure of the two-party system, because they shouldn't
100%.
be on the Republican ballot at all.
100%.
So here's.
Sorry. Can I just quickly jump in on that point? There's this whole fundamental thing of America sneezes and we catch a cold, and that is so right with what's going on with our politics now, with the Conservative
But them's
Party.
the breaks.
Because the same thing's happening. The same thing is happening here. They're talking about trans rights, which no one really is talking about in the sense of like, if people want to do that, to crack on, but they're making it a point, and that's exactly what's going on in America. They're like trying to make points out of nothing, but they get more traction, they get more eyeballs on them for making these arguments and making, you know, things that we as I'll label us all as progressives, we don't really care about those things, but they're coming at us with these arguments to try and get eyeballs on them, and the media then just follow them, and we end up having arguments over absolutely nonsense. But it's because of these horrible fringes, and like Brenner said, on both sides, you've got lefties that are ridiculous, and you've got right wingers that are ridiculous, and they shouldn't be part of these two parties. To Jartan's point, they shouldn't be Republicans. They should be part of a third party, and the lefties should be part of a fourth party.
So here's the thing about that, though. If they register as a Republican, guess what they is?
But that's a failure. That's a failure of your democratic system.
How do you tell people which party that they can register for? So whether they hijack the Republican Party or break off and make a MAGA party, it's the same people. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same people. Like, they are, like, the fringies on the right is the third party. Because then the reason all of this shit is coming to a head is because the Republicans, they allowed Trump his first one, and they sat back. The conservatives, the McCain-like people, or the small business owner who just, he's a little wrong on maybe one or two social issues, but he's not a bigot by any means. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. People who are good meaning, but maybe not 100% correct in all their thinking. Maybe a couple backwards on a couple social issues, but otherwise fine. Those people don't like this MAGA shit. Like, they voted for Trump because he was a Republican. He had the Republican ticket. And they didn't want Joe Biden. So they just, you know what I mean? So like there is that in-between group that is getting sick of the fucking circus show. Like, they're supposed to be the stoic, mature, fiscally responsible party, and they are literally Ringling Brothers. They are Jerry Springer. They are Maury Povich. Marjorie Taylor Greene is putting dick pics up on fucking C-SPAN.
But
Homegirl's giving a fucking handy in the fucking Beetlejuice performance. Like, what? This is not what House and senators do. That is against their whole code of ethics. Like, they are the pious people. Supposed to be the pious people in the party.
And Jartan, in Sweden, your Social Democrats are nothing like the label, and they've sprung up from this same kind of rhetoric, haven't they? This extreme right stuff that's been bandied around. Like, who was that twat that was trying to burn the blooming Quran and all that caper? And
so so the Swedish Democrats is
Swedish Democrats.
It's the Social Democrats is something else.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's the same as the Labour Party. That's our Workers' Party.
Yeah.
But the Swedish Democrats, they were founded by outspoken neo-Nazis, right? People who actually sign, like the charter papers to found that party were Holocaust deniers and Nazis. Like, we've even shown pictures of one of their first marches back in '96 where they're wearing brown shirts and are waving swastikas. But they have done a really, really good job of whitewashing their history by saying, the Social Democrats and, the existing parties, allowed Hitler to buy iron ore and build the railways and all of that, Yeah, but that was fucking 80 years ago. That was not in 1986. That was 80 years ago. Yes, they've made mistakes. Yes, but they also own up to those mistakes, right? But the same people that were part of the Social Democrat Party in 1935 are not part of that party now. But the people who marched in brown shirts in '96 are still a part of the party.
They was flying under that banner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems to be like a Western political phenomena, in the sense of we've always had like this two-party system, which has been copy and pasted from us, which is absolutely dog shit. And when anyone, because of the power that these parties have, you have to join one of the big parties to be able to have some voice.
I think that we've seen over the last 20 years, we've seen a shift, maybe 25 years, we've seen a shift in politics becoming less about politics and more as a fucking popularity contest.
Yeah.
It's about...
Definitely. It's like X Factor.
Yeah, it's about who got the best punchline, who can... It doesn't even have to be true. You just have to say it convincingly.
It's viral moments you're talking about.
Yeah, it's about the viral moments. It's about the gotcha moment, the hot takes. It's a popularity contest.
Yep. The headline sort of like, because of how quickly our news goes out these times, like you have to say something before somebody else says something, or else it's not going to go on the internet, and then nobody's going to care about you. Right now, how many times we haven't even mentioned what happened to the former president right now, because we're all talking about what happened in the Congress.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is running a good smoke screen.
Yeah, it's great, right? It was just everything's just getting
that
hit.
one hurt him. Yes.
No, but I'm just flabbergasted because it's just.
Wayne, look at
politics has been dumbed down to something that is it's idiocracy, it's fucking, it's lunacy, all of it. And I wish that I could lie and spout bullshit as convincingly as some of these people.
You do it every week, mate.
There it is. He got himself. Yeah, yes. Take your punishment.
You got him.
That's what you. Oh, that's what we should. Shartan, we'll just leave the door wide open. He'll have to walk through it, and then he'll hurt himself. That's even better.
No, but
genius.
What's that weird guy that talks really fast all the time?
Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro, yeah.
Oh, God.
Right? Everything that he says, because he says it in such... He's like a fucking machine gun with his words, and he's saying with such conviction that when you listen to him, you go like, there must be some truth to this, right? Because he sounds so sure of himself. But when you listen to what he's actually saying, it's fucking ridiculous.
Every time he opens his mouth, I just imagine some little kid tugging like the bottom of my coat, and then I look down and he's just looking up, and then all this garbage just spills out of it. Like, he talks like a little kid that has to tell you something, but they can't get to what they're fucking trying to tell you. So they could be talking really fast, and then I went over to Johnny's house, and Johnny had this, and then Johnny's got a dog, and and they're just going.
What you mean? This one time at band camp.
Look at him.
Nobody said anything.
He just fucking did that to himself for some reason.
Nobody said anything. Nobody reacted to what he just said.
He's committing.
And yet,
he's committing joke seppuku.
And I think the technical word that you're looking for, Mikey, when describing Ben Shapiro is gobbledygook. That's literally what he comes out with.
We have breaking news.
Oh no!
From Florida.
Beetlejuice
My
is
colleague
back,
says
baby.
we've passed the strongest border bills in history. Well, guess what? Look at the border right now. We didn't use sufficient leverage in the debt limit or in any other thing to actually get results on the border. The border is a disaster, really something I don't think you're going to be campaigning on, that you fix the border.
So how fucking ironic is it that Matt Gaetz, of all people, gets up there and roasts Republicans?
This was a clip that I saw earlier, and I was like, "You've lost it, mate. You have literally shit the bed."
He's just lighting up his own team, and everybody just put their guns down and just walked away. I was like, oh, Matt's doing fine. We're good here.
Work requirements, they blew out those programs with expanded eligibility. I'm real glad you guys didn't put work requirements on Medicaid. It probably would have resulted in Medicaid expansion. And when
he's just saying all the quiet parts out loud. It's
doesn't this remind you of when Marjorie Taylor Greene started praising like Biden's economy? Like, this is what Biden did. He reduced unemployment.
Yeah, wages are higher than ever.
Yeah, benefits have been increased. And it's like, look, we're not saying this shit. He just said that. He's like, you guys did. Because you didn't give a shit about Medicare and requirements, it's just going to expand.
Well, thanks for that. Thanks, Obama.
When it comes to how those raise money, I take no lecture on asking patriotic Americans to weigh in and contribute to this fight from those who would grovel and bend knee for the lobbyists and special interests.
Politicians,
well, that's about the only thing I've never committed.
I mean, the one thing I've never done is sniff the throne of someone in power. I find that repulsive. I've never done it.
Who own our leadership, who have, boo all you want, who have hollowed out this town and have borrowed against the future of our future generations.
I'm sorry, how's your ethics investigation going, Gates?
Yeah.
I'm wondering who's going to be in charge of that. What's going to happen afterwards?
How can he even be there?
I'm just wondering if the ethics committee actually wants to expel him, who's going to have to bring that to the floor?
One person, right?
It's going to be somebody in charge, maybe?
Yeah, but then...
Maybe the Speaker of the House?
Oh, you ain't got one of them.
Oh, Geim?
But the problem you have there is the same defense that Russell Brand is using. I told you they'll come for me because I'm speaking truth.
Right.
And that's exactly what he will do.
Mm-hmm.
He will play that victim card all day long, and he'll get people rallying behind him saying, "Oh, it's a deep state and it's this fucking mob doing this." It's all bollocks. He's just he's a fucking grifter. Let's be real. And
he's trying to save his own skin.
And he's your best friend.
His old man. He's a multi-millionaire.
Whose isn't?
And the only,
Whose isn't?
Well, why is he having to fundraise if his old man's got that sort of money? They're trying to cut him off.
I didn't say I wanted to spend my own money. Hold on. Let's crowdsource this shit.
Yeah. That's his inheritance that he's fucking not having to pay for.
Well, inheritance for freedom. Because you're going.
Yep.
Chippy.
Hmm.
Yeah, and allegedly not nice when it comes to young ladies.